Hi everybody, it's Claire back with another art journal video, and again more inspiration using Dina's brand new release. So I am going to be using this tag that I've already created a background on. This was one using a technique that Dina showed in some of her lives that she's done, where you use gloss spray first and then it will create a resist against other gloss sprays that you put over the top. I've made two tags, stuck them back to back to create this little miniature tag book. It's only going to have these two pages in it, and it's going to be stuck into my journal. So I'm just going to add some ribbon to each side so that I've got a little way to close it once it's stuck in. I've punched a hole on the other side as well. And then I am at some point going to stick that onto my journal page. So here I was just having a think about what else I was going to add onto the page first. So I've grabbed some rouge and I'm just popping that onto my page as a base colour. And mindful that a lot of this page is going to disappear once I stick that tag on there. So I'm not wanting too much interest, just a little bit on this background. Just so that it isn't just the plain craft page, which wouldn't necessarily be a problem, but you know me, I love my colour, and sometimes more is definitely better, but not always. So I then made sure that was dry, and then you know, just be thankful this isn't black gesso because it normally would be. I'm going in with some white paint. Actually, no, I lie, this is carnation. So although you can't really tell on this video, that is a really, really pale pink. And I'm just going to paint that all over the top. So this stencil that you can see is, I think, is it called Triangle Fence or Fence Triangle? Triangle Fence. It's the brand new stencil. I think of it's more of a mask than a stencil. So what I'm going to do is, while that paint is wet, grab a baby wipe and just lift some of that paint off through the stencil, and what I will be left with is this pattern. So I'm not pressing on hard because I forgot to squeeze my baby wipe out, so it's a little bit soggy. But if that happens and you try to do this reductive stenciling technique and you lift your stencil and there's so much moisture, just get a piece of kitchen paper or cloth and then you can just blot the surface. Look how cool that is. So once that was dry, I am then going to stick my little book in. So I've added a little piece of ledger paper down the side. That's almost sort of acting as a little anchor for that book. And then just playing with where to put the book. I mean, it could literally go anywhere on the page. It doesn't really matter. I decided I would pop it there. I've used double-sided tape to stick it in. Tend to find that, you know, once that's in place, it won't come out. Then I wanted to connect the book to my page. So I've grabbed the neon pink stoked gloss and I'm just going to complete those circles that you can see. I'm going to draw those on using the dropper. Really that's just to connect things together, just so that it kind of feels it belongs there. And yeah, and then why not? I'll just go in with a few splatters as well. So now I've done that, I am then going to go onto my little book with a bit of the Triangle Fence stencil as well. I think this is white, just to bring a bit more pattern to that front cover. Can still see those pretty colours coming through. Using that white, it's just bringing a little bit of contrast and giving me a slightly easier background to work on, because these are quite bold and colourful. The white just calms it down and gives your eye somewhere to rest. So I'm going to pull that through my book as well, and you can see, of course, I've used that on the background and now I'm using it in the book too. That then connects the book with the background. So it's a lovely way to pull those together. So I've grabbed some of the brand new set of transparencies from Dina. This is the Tinies, funnily enough, set 1. We've had set 2 already. This is set 1. I love this face in the circle. So, you know, kind of what's not to like about this. It's a face and it's in a circle. That's like 2 things for the price of 1. This set of transparencies has got so many great little faces in there, all in Dina's amazing style. An easily recognisable style as well. These leaves are left over from the previous project that I did. These are from the foam doodle stamp set, and I've just obviously stamped these onto the typed ledger paper that's got lots of bright colours on, and I'm going to be using these as little add-ons, little collage add-ons to my pages on this little tag book that I'm sticking in my journal. So I'm just going to fussy cut some out and then work out where I'm going to pop them. Often do spend a fair bit of time just auditioning things on my pages just to see where they're going to work best. And quite often you will just know when you've found the right space. You will think, yeah, that feels good there, or you'll know it really doesn't work where you first put it. Just keep looking, keep moving it, turn it round, try it a different way. You will find a position that works. Now I know here that I've put that up in that top corner. I then need something to balance it down in the left hand corner of that front page, because at the minute that's all very weighted up in that right hand corner. So by adding something down in the left hand corner, that will then balance that out, and it will feel a bit more like you look at it and think, yeah, okay, that feels right. So I'm trying to keep the colours that I'm using on each page fairly similar. So this one I'm going with the pinks and purples, maybe a little bit of turquoise. And you can see I'm popping those down there, and that does just bring that balance to that page. And then a typed ledger quote. Aren't they just so easy to use? They work so well. And again here, thinking about balancing my page and just sort of thinking that quote wasn't quite right there, all wonky. So I'm just grabbing my tweezers. I'm going to lift it up while it's still wet and try it somewhere else. And I decided that I wanted to keep with all of my interest down in that sort of bottom 2/3 of my page. So I've popped the quote down there as well, and I'm much happier with how the balance of that works. And then finally, just to finish this page off, just a few dots with the large Posca pen, just adding a little bit more contrast onto there too. I could just as easily have done this with my dotty stamp. You can see I've added some black dotty stamps onto the background as well. So then I'm going to repeat this process for the final 2 pages on this little tag book. I'm grabbing some images from the Tinies set 1 transparencies, and I'm going to pop those onto my journal pages, and again adding in some of those lovely leaves from the foam doodle stamp set and quotes from the typed ledger paper. So super easy to create with. It's really quick. Those moments when you cannot be bothered to get your stamps and your inks out, the transparencies make such an easy way to create. And yet you're still using that imagery. I do love to use faces on my journal pages. I think, you know, it kind of makes sense, doesn't it? Often journaling about emotions and things, and a face is just the perfect image for that. So here, yeah, I've popped some leaves on, and then I'm going to be adding on some mark making and some quotes, and just finishing those off. So just finishing off the last few bits, some marks. I've added some white marks on the leaves as well and given them some cute little pink cheeks. And that is this finish. So really easy to create, and just grabbing some tags that I'd already created the backgrounds on. You can then use those as a ready-made background for a little book, and a really simple one where you're sticking the tags back to back and then popping them into your journal. So thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I can't speak. Check out my Instagram for lots of reels, sharing more inspiration using Dina's new release, and I hope to see you again soon.